What up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, and today we are doing it on May 1st. Telestream came out with technically a new version of Wirecast. They changed a whole bunch of stuff, a little pricing structure, and of course, now we got 3 versions of Wirecast that you can use to create streams like what I'm doing right now. And that's what we're going to do. Today we're going to talk about Wirecast 12.1 with Wirecast One. Very exciting for a lot of you streamers out there because of the fact that it is a lot more options and a lot less. And the best part about this is by their price adjustments, you can easily get a Wirecast One and a Wirecast Pro and a Wirecast Studio. And have, if you're doing multiple streaming, it's always fun to actually have and easy to do when you want to have more remote locations. Have one person on a computer with one version of Wirecast. You're in the main computer with another version of Wirecast using things like NDI and camera pass-through and all that other cool stuff to do a lot of cool things. And that's what's really cool about this is it all works in tandem, in harmony with each other. And that's what I love about this. So what we got today, just so you know, I've got Wirecast set up, 12.1 set up on this. This is the HP ZBook X360. I've been reviewing it from HP, and that's going to be on a separate review. So that's going to be my hardware. On the right here, we just did an unboxing. This is the AverMedia Gamer Live. I'm using that for the capture. Up on top, I have my AX700 camera. We'll just zoom up a little bit. You'll see a little bit of the mess. We got 2 cameras going. The first camera, of course, being the main camera. That's the one in front of the TV. And then, of course, this one right here, that's the AX700. That's what I'm going to use to bring into Wirecast so you can see. And then, of course, I'll set it up on Desktop Presenter. You'll see some frame rate issues, but that's because of the Desktop Presenter. That is not because of that. And we're also going wirelessly. It's always best to wire up your computers when you run any type of software like this. I personally, I'll always suggest that. In fact, I was just at an event where they said, oh, we can't afford the hard line. We just use the conference Wi-Fi, and yeah, it didn't work as well. So Wirecast, let's go over to the page really quick. Wirecast live streaming video production. If you just want you want to buy something, they also have the Wirecast gear system. But you can easily stream. You got with streaming, you can do camera shots, you can do overlays, you can do lower thirds, like this QR code right here. This is a Wirecast feature. You create you create this through Wirecast, and then somebody can just use their phone, point to it, and then watch it on their phone on the go. So easy stream. And with the 3 versions, you have the ability to do what you need, because sometimes maybe you're just a gamer and you just want to have your game and your video, and that's it. That's where something like Wirecast One comes into. But maybe you're doing full conferences like I do. That's where Wirecast Pro comes in. And then, of course, Wirecast Studio is nestled perfectly in between. So if you're doing neither of those, but you need a little bit more power than Wirecast One, boom, you got Wirecast Studio. So, and we'll talk about all the features of each version as well. But if you want to go over there, we got the Wirecast One page. You can go there. Of course, I do have an affiliate code for that. You can go over to geekazine.com/Wirecast, and that will help keep these lights on. Like I said, it is an affiliate link, so I appreciate it very much on that. So let's start with this. Let's go over to, and of course, I do get free copies of Wirecast, but this is a review, and all opinions are of Geekazine. So, and we're just looking at features most likely, and a lot of fixes. In fact, I just did a video at NAB, talked to Bryce, and all the fixes that they have in 12, and it's amazing to see that. But now we've got Wirecast One, so let's start with that one, and that is right here. All right, Wirecast One, as you can see, it's a single video source, one stream destination. You can add overlays, you can add lower thirds. You got about 20 transitions in there. And of course, you can use the virtual camera. $249 for that. Let's take a look at Wirecast One. We're going to start from scratch. Here's my screen. We're just going to go right into Wirecast. I haven't put a serial number in just yet. So when you start up Wirecast, this is what you first get. You can enter in the existing serial number. You can buy yourself your Wirecast, or you can start a 30-day free trial. When you start a 30-day free trial, you get watermarks and stuff like that in there. So you can't use it for production, but it is a great way for you, at least last time. They might have changed that. I haven't opened up the 30-day free. Let's do that. Let's open up the 30-day free trial. Free trial registration, you got to put in all your information. Now, we won't do that then. Let's go back. We're going to enter an existing serial number. But guess what, folks? You don't get to see that. So I'm going to enter that in. Boom. And I'm going to hit continue. It says Wirecast is now unlocked. Yay! I'll hit OK. And it's going to take a couple seconds as it figures it out. Now, that's the best part about this software is now, if you've got Pro, if you've got Studio, or if you've got One, it doesn't matter. It's the same software. It will configure it from there. And of course, their upgrade plan is $100 a year. So you get Pro, you pay another $100 for next year. You have all the features of Pro, and you continue on. If you stop paying, that version is where you go. So 12.1, if you stop paying at 12.1 and they go out and next year they're at 14 or something like that, you still have 12.1. You still have your software, and that's really cool here. So it's saying it's unlocked. Here we go. We've got Wirecast. As you can see, what's new? Wirecast 12 is here. Resources, the stock media library. Wirecast One, you don't have that. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And you can see where you go. So we're going to create an empty document. We're going to full screen that. Now, as you can see, here it is, Wirecast One. In Wirecast, you have 5 master layers, except for Wirecast One. You'll only see 3 master layers, and this is where you set up your scenes. You can do it in multiple ways. First of all, you can just add everything to one scene, or you can add layers. So a lot of times what I'll do is on this top layer, I'll put all my overlays like the Geekazine Live logo or something like that, and use that. And then the second layer I'll put in lower thirds. Third layer I'll put in my video. Fourth layer, of course, I'm using Pro. Fourth layer I'll put in audio, because I always use my audio separate from my video. In this case, I'll probably put in anything graphic, lower thirds or anything like that on this layer. On this layer I'll put in my main video, and then down here I'll put in the audio. So we've got the AVer media already set up, so we're going to do that. Video capture, Live Gamer Mini right there. And we're going to hit add. And there I am. It's in preview mode right now. And like I said, the frame rate is going through Desktop Presenter. So it looks a lot better on the screen. Trust me. So anyway, I've got a single video source. So I don't think I can. As you can see, if I open this up, now it says you need to go to Studio if you want to bring in any of these. But I can bring in another Live Gamer Mini. So I can bring in a second shot here, and then the cool thing about that is then I can do like a zoom in or something like that. So when I go live, and we'll just hit switch and we'll go auto live, and then I'll hit that. Now it's going to go auto live. So now I can have a zoomed in version on my camera, or I can go back out. Now what I can also do is I can do things like Desktop Presenter and anything like that. Let's see, let's go to all of them. Let's see what we got here. And so basically you can do screen capture, which is this, and you can see the screen, and I'm not going to get into changing the size and everything like that, but you've got the ability to do a couple different things. So if you're playing games on a monitor and you go through capture card, and you can basically do that, or if you're just doing single headshots and then put in some video clips, some pictures and stuff like that, you can do that fairly easily. So as you can see, three master layers. You can still put in, they got, let's see what they got for titles really quick. No, scoreboard is what's Pro. We still have a QR code generator, which looks awesome. So we can put this content in here, and we can go geekazine.com, And poof, we have a QR code right there, smack dab in the middle. So we have that ability right there. What else we got? We can put in texts and titles and even Twitter feeds. We can do that really quick. We won't get into it too much, but you'll be able to go into the social area and put in create Facebook and Twitter information. And then of course it'll populate down here. And there's many tutorials on how to do that. We won't get into that too much here, but that is Wirecast One. And that's $249. Let's get back to the main camera here. $249. And for some quick stuff, especially if you're doing green screen, chroma key, that is a built-in chroma key on Telestream Wirecast is great. It's best to have a nice lit studio, and of course I got my chroma key up here, which I roll down on a rolling blind, basically, and then I bring it back up when I'm done. But I can definitely do that from here. Pretty straightforward. $250. All right, let's take a look at Wirecast Studio here. Now, with Wirecast Studio, you get unlimited inputs, unlimited destinations. That means that with Wirecast One, you can only send to Facebook or YouTube, but you can't send to both. This will let you go to multiple destinations, of course, depending on your bandwidth. You can do 2 remote guests via the Rendezvous software, which is really cool. You can definitely have a nice little talk show going here. You get the stock media library, which is the Storyblocks partnership. So you can bring in some really cool stuff. And then you get 100 titles and graphics and overlays for $449. So you bump up to $200 more. And you've got a great way to do one-on-one interviews. You don't have to publish them to Facebook right away live. You can just kind of pre-record them and then turn around and send them out. That's what I like to do. Is I do things live on my youtube.com/Geekazine channel and twitch.tv/Geekazine channel. But I then take those videos and then put them into a post editor, and then I can clean them up a little bit more, because it always helps to clean things up. You never know when something happens or I make a mistake, because God forbid I make a mistake. Anyway, so that is the studio version. I actually don't have a license for Studio, which is weird. I should probably get one so I can test that out when I need to. But let's talk about Pro here, which is the final step up in here, and you get everything, basically. You get the expanded inputs, the IP connections. You can do NDI. You do sports production. That gives you scoreboards and stuff like that. It gives you audio control. It gives you PTZ control. 7 people into a rendezvous session. Now look at that price. This is the key right there, is that $699 price. And if you have used Wirecast before, you knew that was a lot more back in the day. $699. Think about it, $700. Add in a second serial number at $250. Now you can have somebody doing something simple on one machine, and they can bring it in to your machine, where you then push it out to everybody. They do this all the time, and in fact, they also do it the opposite way. If you've got a TriCaster, if you have OBS or another program, you bring those in, and then Wirecast will be used to stream out, will be used to record out. I love the fact of giving tasks to different devices. When I'm out there live streaming, my main computer is switching. I have a device that records the video. I have another device that streams out the video. That way the computer does not get taxed on any of that. And if anything goes down for any reason in that area, this stays up. And the same thing with this. If something crashes, I can bring it back up, and then my stream still stays up, and my recording still continues. And I just have to do some editing afterwards. So that's what I like about it. Now let's go over to Pro. Now the funny thing is, I entered in the Pro serial license, and what happened was it still thought it was in Wirecast One. I had to close out and go back in, and it worked just perfect. But not too many people are going to have that issue. But if you do change licenses, then that's what will happen. And keep in mind, this is all the same software. we have not uninstalled or reinstalled anything. So check this out. We are now on Wirecast Pro. And once again, the frame rate from desktop presenter, so I can't change that too much. As you can see, we've now got 5 master layers. There's the 5th one right there. You got 5 master layers. And normally on the 3rd layer, that's where I put my video. The 2nd layer, that's where I put my graphics and lower thirds and stuff like that. And then the 1st layer is anything overlaying, like my Geekazine live video. So it helps on that. Now, once again, I'm using the same camera, so using the same Aver Media live card. So we're still got that going through this whole thing and go from there. Now we've got all these features here, including your ability to switch your auto live, your PTZ setup. We can play videos. We can do our asset manager. We can let's see, with the Pro, we've got the replay. We've got the social. Replay is really nice if you're doing sports stuff. Somebody made a touchdown, you hit that replay button, and then you've got that touchdown on the top line, the top master layer, allowing you to replay that right away. We've got the PTZ controller. We've got the audio mixer. We got Rendezvous, of course, advanced Rendezvous audio mixer, which is the new thing to be able to give the participants their own feed without having any type of feedback loops going on. You can control all the sound from there and so much more. And this is the best part. I don't know if I should be showing it to you, but it's in 12.1. So you got all your output destinations, and you got one right here that says LinkedIn Live. Check that out. Now, okay, you have LinkedIn Live, but guess what? You can't use LinkedIn Live just yet, because basically what you have to do is you have to go to LinkedIn. You basically go to their help page. I'll try and have the link in the show notes. So you have to apply right now for LinkedIn Live. But once you get approved, then it's just like going into Facebook. It's just like going into YouTube or Twitter or anything like that. You create everything that you need. You tell it which audio track you want to go to. Now, this is kind of exciting. With that, you can actually say track 2, track 1. Now, if let's say you want to do, let's say you're doing a sports event and you want to do have somebody calling plays in Spanish or in any language. You can have them sit there, their own audio track, come in. You can send one to Facebook, and you've been able to do this for a while now, but you can send one to YouTube in English. You can send one to Facebook in Spanish. You can send one to LinkedIn in German. I don't know. And do different, even record with some of the tracks and the different tracks as well. So there's a lot of different possibilities, not just language. I mean, you could have your friends do their own play calls off the same video. How cool is that to watch the same thing and then have a different commentary under the exact same video? That's a possibility there. But we get, I look at that and that's how I go. My mind just goes crazy like that. But anyway, LinkedIn Live is in here. And although you don't have the ability to use it yet, unless you got approved already, you will be. The second you get that approval, boom, you're off and running. So that's the one biggest feature I really want to show. They also have, I don't know if you saw this, but in the corner, they also have what's called the cloud, Telestream cloud settings. And this is really cool because this allows you to send one signal out, and then they'll use their cloud service to send it to Facebook, to send it to YouTube, to send it to wherever. So, even if you're using Wirecast One, you can then send it to one RTMP or one destination that will then replicate it to the other destinations. If you really needed to go to YouTube and Facebook, there is a price involved in this, and but they do have a free trial of 100 minutes. So that's basically, one podcast, one event. You can send it to them, and they'll send it to all the destinations. So pick your event, because that's the key right there. So, but yeah, lots of cool features here in 12.1. The QR code, let's show you the stock media. I've showed this to you in the past. So we go here, and we go media files, I think it is. Yeah, stock media library. And for some of you, you'll get like a, hey, you know, watch it for what you're using this for, because if it's more than YouTube and you're selling this commercially, then some of these stock images and videos will not, you'll have to pay for them. But yeah, I can put in a light underwater ocean, and now I just put that in and go like that. Boom. I got a nice underwater ocean here, and a whole bunch more. So we got a lot of great features in Pro that just really extend on here. And like I showed you, the features and the prices, it's just amazing what the prices are. Because when I started out, it was pretty expensive to get Pro, and now it's just a little bit over half, or just a little bit less than half of what it used to be back in Wirecast 7 and Wirecast 8. And that's pretty cool, because now you can think about putting it on more than one machine to do a lot more in your streaming. So check out the Wirecast. These are all the features on their page. You can check that out over at telestream.net. And of course, everything comes with a free trial. If you're really interested in streaming back and forth, boom, here you go. You've got a full system here, and that is Wirecast One, Wirecast 12.1, and just the coolest idea of, you know, install one piece of software, update that one piece of software, and no matter where you are in the spectrum of Wirecast, you can use that one piece of software. And so I'll have it loaded on Wirecast, loaded on multiple computers. If I need to move from one to the other, I can deactivate licenses, activate licenses, and go from there. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I could go on for days on this. You'll see a lot of stuff. I have a Facebook group called Wirecast Pros that you can always join to learn more about Wirecast. And this Monday, I'm definitely going to be talking about this on that channel, on the live podcast through Wirecast Pros. So definitely you can join me there. Other than that, if you want to check it out yourself, like I said, you can support the channel by going over to geekazine.com/Wirecast and get your version for Mac, get your version for Windows. Yeah, two different platforms. And some of these streaming services don't even have that. It's, you either have to be one or the other. I live in a cross OS world, so therefore this helps me a ton. And I'm really excited, and the features go right pretty much across the board. It's amazing what you can do there. So, but anyway, that's that. That is Wirecast 12.1 with Wirecast One, the new product out there. You can check that out over at Geekazine. Of course, like I said, geekazine.com/Wirecast to get yourself a copy and go from there. So we went through a lot there, but there was a lot of cool stuff. And of course, it's getting better. It's getting better. I've been talking with the folks over at Telestream. They've got a lot of great ideas. I give them some ideas they can bring into, and with the rendezvous fix, you can really build out your studio with some solid software that can do a lot. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. That's the word, contact. Like I said, there is a Facebook page. Look for Wirecast Pros. Telestream also has a page called Wirecast Users, which definitely join that group. Lots of content going through both of them. So if you have questions, you can ask it there. Of course, you can go down in the YouTube comment section down below, like, subscribe, comment, bell notification for the next video, of course, over at Geekazine. So that's it, folks. Wirecast One, 12.1, and it's only getting better from here. Live streaming at its best, and I love it. I love it. So thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, you guys geek out like I just did in this last 30 minutes, and take care.